Hey, what's going on, guys? Oink here. Today I'm going to be bringing you the next level in the Red Bull X2014 challenge, which is, of course, the X2014 Standard Championship, which is the bottom of those three on the left-hand side, and the penultimate challenge here. It's a 5-race series, and we're starting off at Silverstone. Now, this is one of the newly added ones. There's only this one and the final challenge left. In this one, we're going to be racing the standard version, so this is the one without the fan at the back, so it's more like a traditional Formula car, just with, you know, even more downforce and a closed cockpit and all of that sort of stuff. So, still extremely fast, still masses of downforce, and quite challenging to drive, I guess, or at least challenging to get used to. It's not a sort of experience that you normally race in Gran Turismo, so it does take a little bit of getting used to. Bear in mind that this is my first time in this event, so my driving is not exactly ideal. But I thought I'd show you sort of the front lap of each of the 5 races, so you can kind of get an idea of what you're going to be up against, and, you know, generally just how I'm driving the car. As I said, this is my first time into the championship, so it is a little bit messy in places, but you get the general idea. One thing that's quite weird is, I don't know if it's just like a faulty setup or something, like the car is not quite done correctly, but down most of the straightaways and in a lot of areas, the cars just scrape the floor like continuously. So you see streams of sparks flying out from behind cars. Which is, yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going on there. I don't know if that's just a problem that they've been put a little bit too close to the ground, or something on the bottom of the car is a bit too low down, or just something, you know, not quite right with the suspension. Either way, I'm sure it's not supposed to be happening. Anyway, Silverstone was pretty easy. I actually took into first after the first lap, so you can see there I finished after 4 minutes 25-ish. And actually the second race is at a original circuit, which is Trial Mountain. It was actually quite good fun racing here. I was a little bit surprised to see this one in the championship. Would have expected more real-world circuits, some of the Formula tracks, stuff like that. But nonetheless, it was quite good fun here. For the most part, the main kind of thing to watch out for here is actually, well, as with a lot of events in GT6 and GT5 and stuff, is the AI. Can be very slow on the exit of corners. So if you're exiting a corner quickly, just, you know, you got to make sure you're dodging the AI. And you can see what I'm talking about, the sparks here, by the way. Look at that, just sparks everywhere coming out of these front 2 cars. Quite weird. I'm not sure what's going on there. Coming around that left-hander, Jesus, the G-forces would be absolutely intense. You're going at like 140 miles an hour into this dip and around the corner. Like, I'm glad I'm not the driver of this car. Let's just put it this way. I think his brains would have just been mushed into the like side of his skull or something. I don't know. And then you see an example of what not to do for the final chicane there. I jumped the curb just a bit early, wasn't expecting so much turn in, and it really screwed with the aero of the car. So you want to turn in like that a little bit later, and you can easily make the corner. And you can see there as well, not too difficult to get to the lead of that one. That was at Trial Mountain. Next we get another original one. This is at Apricot Hill Raceway, and again, this one actually the AI is a little bit better. This is probably the one track where the AI isn't terrible out of the corners. They're actually reasonably quick through the S's, and you know, not too much dodging needed, although you can see it's still pretty quick to work your way through the rankings. But here, got a little bit stuck behind guys going too wide, and having to sort of work my way through the traffic. But you can see they're not terribly slow. The main problem with the other ones is they go so slow on the exit, you just literally go full speed into the back of them and get shunted. Whereas at least here, even if they are a little bit slow, they're fast enough that you can at least see it coming and work around them. That is one thing to watch out for, actually. About the only way to spin the car other than driving it off track and into the grass is head-on collisions with the guys in front, because what ends up happening is all of the weight kind of gets just thrown to the front of the car, and so the rear loses quite a lot of its grip. And if you're doing that, say, whilst turning, the back of the car has got, you know, very little or no no grip at the back, and so it just kind of spins around on you. So it is just one thing to watch out for. Here we're at Fuji, after this is track number 4 now, and I'm going to actually show the second lap for this one, just because the first lap was really not a good one. Going into the first corner here, it was just a nightmare. Like, there was just cars everywhere, and I just got fishtailed coming around the hairpin, and I just got spun in a circle, and then I don't know, I think I crashed again at some other point, and it was just generally a terrible lap. But this is a good example of where the AI are just horrifically slow. I think in like 4 corners in a row, I just slammed into the back of the car in front of me because they were going so much slower than me into the corner. So yeah, definitely something to watch out for with this event. Actually, the car transmission tops out on the straights here, so if you're in the draft on the straight, you'll find that the car actually gets to the rev limiter in 7th gear. Just catching a bit of oversteer there. So yeah, you can just lift off the gas just to hold it at around the maximum, which I think was 230 miles per hour, somewhere around that. Let's have a look, you'll probably see it in a second. Yeah, so hit topping out at 230 there, so you can just lift off the gas and just let it ride at 230. Otherwise, you know, just it's not too far to go down the straight. Actually takes us to the last track here, which is the Nürburgring GP course, and yeah, pretty fun track actually. You'll actually see a good mistake. I left the lap 1 in, even though there was a pretty big mistake here, and I can see just dodging traffic coming into this first chicane. I go around the outside and actually find a nice little gap there to slip through and overtake the first half of the field on turn 1. But yeah, you'll see actually coming out here, as you take this right-hander, on the left, the curb is actually, well, a little bit bigger than expected, and I lost all of my downforce as I come in and actually clipped the guy in front of me, and it really messed up the car's aerodynamics, so that's caused a spin. So yeah, you really want to watch out not to be clipping curbs. The curbs are quite steep here, especially at Nürburgring. But generally speaking, this car works just because of the incredible downforce that it has. So you know, if you hit those curbs, it kind of bounces the car around, upsets the balance and the sort of the downforce going through the car, just the airflow, general stuff like that. So really try to stay as planted on the track as you can. I mean, places like that where there's just sort of slight curbs and you can kind of hop up onto them, it's not gonna really be the end of the world. But if you hit curbs going fast, or you put the gas down as you come across a curb, that can really, you know, spin the car around. So that's kind of the main concern to watch out for here, I guess, especially this chicane here. If you tried to cut this too close, it probably would bounce the car all over the place. So you know, take it nice and easy through there, and it shouldn't be too difficult. You can see I'm already up into 5th by the end of lap 1. To be honest, with all of these races, shouldn't be too much of a problem. The main thing is just learning the car, getting used to how ridiculous it is, and you know, how fast you can take the corners, all that kind of stuff. And once you get that down, the rest of it is pretty much a breeze. So there is all 5 races done for gold. That gives you about 150,000 per race, plus a 550,000 for the overall championship, and you get this nice little graphics. I don't think I've seen this before, maybe actually in some of the championships, but a cool little Red Bull podium graphic there when your dude with his nice shiny trophy. And of course, this also wins you the Red Bull X2014 Standard, the one that you've been driving. There it is. You get a nice choice of 5 or 6 colours. That just leaves us with one final Red Bull event, which I'm going to be covering in the next video, so stay tuned for that one, where we're going to be driving the X2014 fan car. Other than that, I hope you guys found this video useful. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.